So hard to get both of them. Action. All right.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in $1 Million Radio episode 2, part 37.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah,
We made it. Ladies and gentlemen, also Jacob Fine, Mike Stan.
Yep.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Great job.
It was time. I think, one episode was enough without the mic stand, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, this is our second try at episode 2. I don't even want to get into it, but maybe it's best to, therapeutically talk about it. Maybe that will lighten.
I feel rehearsed.
Yeah.
But also, I think even though we didn't have that one ready yesterday, we recorded the whole thing. We had some computer issues, and now we're having to do this again. I think it worked out because now we get to talk about the Florida State and Boston College game.
Oh, man. That was a fun game to watch, unless you were a Florida State fan, which I am not.
If you are, we apologize. You are not due for a good year. It looks like.
Go ahead and just unsubscribe. I don't know why you would be subscribed. Episode 1, I called your quarterback trash.
Not a winner is what you said.
That is what I said. I did not call him trash. He's not trash. I don't want to, diss anybody. I just don't feel like he's a winner. I bet with Georgia Tech in week 0 in Ireland. I bet with Boston College last night. I just don't think he's a winner.
Well, honestly, you've not been proven wrong. They've yet to prove that they can win.
Yeah.
And the thing is, going 0 for 2 in week 1 is crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
2 losses before the first updated polls. So.
Yeah. Yeah. When it kept saying number 10 FSU, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Number 10.
Now they're unranked FSU.
Yeah.
So
F in the chat for unranked FSU guys.
Yeah, sorry FSU fans. Better luck next year. Is the season over, I guess?
I think they're out of the college playoffs.
I was on Twitter last night, and there was like this like Twitter Spaces, that sort of thing. There was a video I saw, somebody screen recording Florida State Spaces broadcast thing. And this fan, I guess you call him a fan. I don't know how you can call yourself a fan and be just straight dog in your team.
That's actually probably one of the best parts of a fan.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. But he was saying a bunch of things, but he ended up saying that the college football playoff committee last year was right for leaving them out. So I'm glad that at least somebody is coming to that understanding.
Yes, absolutely. I think... Guys, if you're a Florida State fan, we're about to get into something that's truly heartbreaking. So,
what's that?
Castellanos, QB Castellanos.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He Boston College's quarterback Castellanos last night. I hope we're saying that right, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
I think that's what they were saying last night.
It's a little bit easier to say than Uyunglele, but
yeah.
DJ QB. But yeah, he was a dog last night, man. He had a great game.
I have his stats pulled up. He had 73 rushing yards and a score.
Yeah.
When it comes to rushing.
When he was reaching out for the goal line. Yeah. I think that was, first touchdown?
That was the first touchdown. It seemed like they just drove right down the field.
Yeah.
And he reached his whole body. He broke the plane. His body was down, before the line, but he had already reached out past it to break that plane. But man, that was a good score. It really set the tone, I thought, for the rest of the game because, you have Boston College, who's not really. Boston College is rebuilding, right? Like that's the head coach's first year there.
Yeah, was it Bill O'Brien the head coach?
I think so.
He was a former head coach of the Houston Texans. Coached with Nick Saban at Alabama for a while. Recruited my friend Ty Simpson down from Martin to Tuscaloosa, but.
It was a big story last night. Like it was like this is a NFL coaching staff. At the end of the game when there was about a minute and a half left, or a minute 50 or so.
Yeah,
they were already kneeling. You don't see that too often in college. It seems like.
Yeah.
But apparently that's a lot of what NFL teams do.
Well, Boston College's coach last year, his name escapes me right now to come to me. He's the new Jeff Hafley. He's the new defensive coordinator for Green Bay, actually.
Okay.
So he got a little job promotion, I guess.
Yeah.
Head coach at Boston College to D coordinator.
A league promotion.
Yeah. But he's one of the reasons why I'm always really excited to start the NFL season, which we're doing in 2 nights from now, actually 48 hours. So get ready for that, Kansas City and Baltimore. But
can't wait to rehash that.
Yeah, talk about it again. I don't know if I completely got into it, but the reason we're talking about that, having to redo the episode, we filmed for another hour and a half, episode 2, Monday morning. And
it's a good convo.
Yeah, it was a great convo, actually. We stayed not to the script. There's no script here. We're kind of just, BSing around. But yeah, I record on my audio software, Logic Pro, and we recorded the cameras. We got 2 cameras, obviously, and
made it a point to save it. I was like, Skylar, did you save? He said yes.
And then we joked about it.
He turned around.
Let's make sure and save it again.
He turned around and Control S. You see, if you know anything about, saving it on a project, you'll see the screen flash for a second, you know. And I was like, okay, yeah, he definitely saved.
And so closed down the project, no problems. It didn't ask if I needed to save it or don't save.
Because you did.
Because I did. Turns out I was saving this project to my computer that was out of storage space. So as soon as I closed out of the project,
gone. Yeah.
And
I get a text from this dude. He's like, bro, you saw me save that. And I was like, yeah, it's got to be on there somewhere. Ain't no way, because it didn't offer any problems up, just like, it was normal. But I was like, well, we can redo it.
Yeah. It was either redo the whole episode or use the audio from the cameras and just try to engineer it up a little bit to make it sound good. But
we like to do things right.
We like to do things the $1 million way, and it wouldn't have sounded very $1 million if we would have done that. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I'm glad, honestly. I mean, anytime I get to see Skylar, 2 days in a week, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But honestly, it gave us a chance to actually come back and talk about even more stuff. So So, we kind of started on that FSU game. Boston College goes down and really sets the tone. And then, didn't they score? It was like 14-0, right?
Yeah, it was 14. And keep in mind, Florida State at home, their only other game the week before was in Ireland. So maybe, I don't know if you could call it jet lag.
Hell no. If you have was it a week to recover?
Well, Saturday to the next Monday. So 9 days, almost 10. And Georgia Tech had to play Saturday to Saturday, and they didn't have any problems with their opponent. They're 2-0. It sucks for Florida State though, man, because the first 2 are losses. It sucks to start out 0-2, but they're both conference games.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a steep hill to climb.
Yeah, and honestly, last night what the commentators were saying, that they were saying not even the rest of the schedule is even a for sure win.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to set the tone for the season, you go out and get these 2 games, but you didn't get the 2 games, and the rest of them aren't even for sure.
My girlfriend's a Miami fan, and
sorry,
she we're off to this is my first year kind of pulling for Miami a little bit. No rivalry with Tennessee, so it's not a problem. It's not like she's a Gators fan. Probably wouldn't be my girlfriend if she was.
Yeah,
jokes. But anyways, she was talking about how their 2 biggest games of the year are the first game against Florida and when they play Florida State later in the year. And other than that, they got a pretty easy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the rest of the schedule is going to be pretty easy if Florida State can't right the ship. But that was a great game to watch last night, unless you're a Florida State fan, as I said. But it was a good way to cap off week 1 of the college football season, the first full official week of college football.
Yeah, I guess since we've already talked about it, we don't think we need to, but I think we should go over just a few of the games.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was a great week, honestly. Week 0, started off with Georgia Tech and, Florida State and all that, but we're Tennessee fans up in here, right? So,
Knoxville, baby.
So, we were happy with a 69-3 score with the Tennessee versus Chattanooga game. It got to a point I didn't even watch the rest of the half because, we had that.
Yeah, we had it in the bag. We had some chirping going on our TikTok video, Jacob. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. Yes.
So made a TikTok clip from our first episode talking about previewing the Chattanooga game and saying that We were 38.5-point favorites. That's a lot of points. Wouldn't be surprised if we covered. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't cover.
As traumatized Tennessee fans.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee can
break your heart.
Any rabbit out of the hat. Not necessarily in a good way. But yeah, so I posted it that night. It got like 300 views, not really any comments. And then the day of the game, that was Friday night, the day of the game comes, still nothing really.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the game, I check it on Sunday morning and it's got like 10 comments, which isn't a whole lot, but it bumped up the views a lot. And then I'll go and look at the comments and they're basically calling us, nicer words than this, but basically calling us dumbasses that don't know what we're talking about.
What are you yapping about?
Yeah.
What one of them said. And honestly, I respect the opinion, but it's hard to make the most accurate prediction whenever you haven't seen them.
Yeah, I mean, week one in college football,
Yeah. But I respect the comment.
A couple things to take away from that game, Jacob, though, was our boy Nico Iamaleava. What were your thoughts of seeing our stud redshirt freshman quarterback?
Well, when you texted me, you said he looks an awful like Hendo. I was like, I see it.
Just a robot in the pocket.
Yes, and like just so much poise. It seems like and it's not the greatest competition to compare it to. We'll really see him under pressure when it comes to Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah,
and like those bigger games. But overall, for his first starting appearance, I mean, he was already out. In the second half. So I was really happy with how he carries himself.
Not even the fact that he didn't play the second half, but what he did in the first half was over 300 yards. I think he had, 6 incompletions maybe throughout the first half, over 300 yards.
He started off like with no drop or like no incompletes, right, though?
I think he was 10. He was definitely 10 of 10 at one point for 80-something yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, that's good.
That's good. But I mean, just the poise he showed, again, not a daunting task in Chattanooga, but he showed that poise. He was very cool, calm, and collected. Yeah. I mean, that's just his personality, really.
And it didn't seem like there was really any overthrows, or throws that were too hard.
He was probably, just in one half of football that we've seen, probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks that maybe we've had. I mean, Hendon Hooker was very, very accurate. But he gives Hendon a run for his money.
And that's great. I mean, you love to see it as a Vol fan.
Again, we'll see what happens the rest of the year.
Especially when he's under pressure. Yeah. That's what is going to be the true test, obviously.
We got NC State neutral grounds this week in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to travel well, as we've said before, but that'll definitely be a bigger test than Chattanooga, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I think we'll come out victorious, and then we got Kennesaw State the next week. But then after that, we go on the road to Oklahoma. So we'll definitely see what we got that week.
And I mean, NC State last week they struggled against Western Carolina.
Shout out WCU.
Yeah, WCU. Y'all are real. Y'all are real weird. Y'all are real though. I couldn't really ask for more, but y'all brought it to NC State. That 38 to 21 score.
Yeah.
That wasn't accurate for what the whole game was leading up to the fourth quarter. I mean,
NC State pulled away at the end with a couple turnovers, but
WCU, y'all were pushing NC State's button. It was 21-17, and then NC State got a few good plays, and then they got the ball back and were able to capitalize on that. But honestly, I thought NC State would look a little stronger. I wasn't expecting WCU to hang with them.
And not only did they hang with them, but for most of that game, they were I wouldn't necessarily say overpowering them, but they didn't look physical enough, the Wolfpack. They just didn't look physical enough.
And honestly, I mean, seeing them last week in that situation, I don't think that they're going to be too big of a competition for Tennessee. Obviously, it's going to be some form of competition, but if they had not come out and struggled against WCU, what I'd be saying would be completely different. But I do think Tennessee's going to win probably about 2 touchdowns or so.
Well, the line's 7.5, so Now would be the time to make that bet if that's really what you think.
I'll put my money there. I get paid this week, so
Put the whole paycheck on.
no. But I do think it's not going to be necessarily a close game. I mean, maybe in the first half, maybe till the third quarter or so. But I do think Tennessee's probably going to go up by about 10 to 14 points. I'd say by the end of the game.
Well, last week you were saying it was going to be a 17-point win, if I remember correctly. You still sticking with that? It sounds.
I thought
around the same.
I don't know. Did I say that for NC State? I thought I may have said it for Oklahoma, but 14 points, 17 points. I still think we're going to win by at least two touchdowns.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like I said, the line is 7.5. Still a bigger test than Chattanooga was for Tennessee. One thing that I really saw in that week 1 game for the Vols, the defense looked like some studs. Everybody on the defense, and something else to take away from that, James Pierce Jr., 10 snaps the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't need to be in there long, given the score, but I think he's really going to show out on this next one. Is NC State still ranked? Aren't they still 24th?
Well, we can go ahead and look at the rankings now. I was a little bit surprised, and maybe I am just, the Tennessee bias, but we only moved up 1 spot from 15 to 14.
Yeah.
Obviously, Florida State dropped out, and I don't think anybody else necessarily lost, so
LSU.
maybe that is. LSU did lose.
Yeah, and they're number 18th. And that's the weird part. They were 13th, and then they lose to number 23 USC. And they only dropped to 18, but Tennessee blows out Chattanooga.
It was USC that jumped us. I think USC.
They're at 13.
Yeah. USC was
23.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 23 beating a 13 seed, and then the 13 jumps.
So they
to
just
18.
basically took their spot.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I wasn't too impressed with either one of those teams. I also wasn't too impressed with, obviously, USC did what they had to do to come out on top. And who knows, maybe LSU is a good team.
I think they're a little overranked. Or they were, at least, I think.
Probably. Both of those teams, they lost their starting Heisman winning quarterbacks, Caleb Williams with the Trojans and Jaden Daniels with LSU.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Both of those quarterbacks were, waiting patiently behind those two, as they probably should have. But, it's so hard to.
I thought it was a pretty exciting game, the USC LSU game. I mean, it was honestly a little bit of the battle of the mids. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was LSU and USC.
Yeah.
But I mean, towards the end, I wasn't expecting USC to get that touchdown with less than 15 seconds left. I thought they were just going to run it, get stopped, and then kick the field goal. But they really iced the game.
Oh yeah,
them
for
getting
sure.
that touchdown.
Another game that happened this past weekend was Texas A&M and Notre Dame. That one kind of felt like a stinker there for a while. Primetime game, 6-6 at halftime, much like the Georgia and Clemson game. And then Georgia showed that they're still Georgia and won 37-6. But
and that Kirby Smart has built a monster.
Yeah.
Well, what's the record over the past 3 years? Like 40-2?
I think so. And I think both of those losses were to Alabama and nobody else.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for a better run, honestly, unless you're just completely undefeated. But
Georgia is the new Alabama.
Yeah,
we've been able to say that for a couple of years now. It definitely felt like it was going that way, but
I still have them as winning the title. So
yeah, we'll see what Clemson has this year, but only 6 points is not. Of course, it looked like it was just going to be a defensive battle the whole time. Maybe both defenses were just that good in holding the offenses 6-6 at half, and then Georgia just does what Georgia does and is like, never mind, I'm just going to take off real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it looked promising for Georgia at least. I mean, but with that Texas A&M game, you said it was looking like a stinker with Notre Dame and all that?
Yeah, Notre Dame moved up to number 5 in the rankings. I think they were 7 maybe.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed with
what was the
one
final
of those
score?
teams.
It was they won by like 10 points, I think.
I think it was 27-20 maybe, or maybe that was the USC game.
Well, I just know that Georgia's number 1, right? And they beat number 14 Clemson by
23-13 over Texas.
Yeah, so it was a 10-point game. So, and Texas A&M was what was their ranking? Like 23 maybe at the time. So, I mean, you have number 1 Georgia beating Clemson by what? Near 30 points, right? And then you
31.
And then you have Notre Dame beating Texas A&M, which is the number 23 team in the country, by only 10 points. And Notre Dame moves up.
Neither one of those teams were impressive to me.
No, I don't
Notre
think so.
Dame broke off 2 runs with their running back that were like 30, 40-yard runs. And those were the difference in the game. You take those 2 plays out. Like the quarterback threw for 100-something yards, no touchdowns, no picks, didn't turn the ball over. He ran the ball quite a bit too and got some yards.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Notre Dame will have to look at their schedule sometime and see like exactly how strong of a schedule they got. They normally don't have a strong schedule.
Because they're not in a damn conference.
Not in a conference.
They should be. But
they should be in a conference going forward in this new 12-team playoff. You got the top 4 seeds will be conference winners. So I don't see how Notre Dame would ever be able to get in the top 4.
Yeah, that's like the homeschool kid being, valedictorian. You know what I mean? Like, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's insane. I think Notre Dame should at least have to join. Don't they have a contract with the ACC to do 5 games with them?
I think in basketball, aren't they in a conference?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah,
in the ACC.
But I think football they have a contract to where they have to play about 5 games or so with the ACC.
Okay,
but I think can't they even compete in the ACC tournament? I mean, I don't know. It's weird, dude. I think it just creates too many problems.
It does. I think it's time. Like, you got Army that's not in a conference, but that's Army. But Notre Dame's such a quote unquote powerhouse, such a legendary school.
Yeah.
They got the Notre Dame aura around them, but
that weird homeschool kid aura. Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never been a Notre Dame fan. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on them too much, but
yeah, I just can't get behind it.
Yeah,
but I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be a pretty good week coming up. I think week 3 is actually going to be a better week than this next one. We got some good matchups coming. Last week you had Vanderbilt and Virginia Tech. I was pretty surprised.
Vandy raised some eyebrows with that one.
Yeah.
We don't know how good Virginia Tech is, and that's one of these things, going over all these week 1 games that we don't know what these teams are yet.
Just when you make your money, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Vanderbilt was, I want to say, definitely double-digit underdogs. I think it was around 12 points or so. And they went outright. Took it to overtime, missed a field goal at the end of regulation, and it's like, oh, Vandy's gonna Vandy.
Yep.
Then they come back and win in overtime. Quarterback ran it in the corner of the end zone, and then a big defensive stop. Virginia Tech threw the ball into the back of the end zone, and
pretty hard too.
Yeah, it was a hard hit.
I was playing cornhole yesterday, and we had a chance. Me and Mackenzie, we had a chance to I guess, keep the game going because the opponent, which was her parents, had gotten to 21.
Yeah.
So it was kind of embarrassing. Like, I threw it, I missed it. Her dad, he just threw it on the ground because they were already at 21, and I just kept throwing it. I felt like I was that Virginia Tech quarterback. I just threw it way too hard. It kept sliding off. That last one, it slid off. I was like, no.
Playing cornhole and throwing it straight at the ground, that's like taking a knee in football.
Oh, yeah, it's like, so you're showing me mercy, huh? Yeah. Even though it makes complete sense. But yeah, that Virginia Tech game, honestly, that was a really good game. I think going in overtime, you didn't know if Vanderbilt was really going to win because it's Vandy's going to Vandy.
Vandy's going to Vandy, but
wide right is what the commentators said to that field goal, and they missed it.
I said in the first episode that I think Vandy's due for a decent season.
Yeah,
and Vanderbilt standards. Wasn't necessarily expecting them to come out and beat Virginia Tech, but maybe that shows more about Virginia Tech than it does Vandy.
Yes.
But I'm thinking towards the end of the season when we play Vandy in the last game, it might be a more competitive matchup than it typically is going into that last game. And hopefully, we got something to play for and, hopes for the playoffs at that point. More like a win and we're in type situation. So got a long time until we get there, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
So great full weekend of college football. We had games Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday night, Monday night.
Couldn't really ask for a better long, Labor Day weekend.
I know. It was a really good one. And now we got NFL.
Yeah.
NFL starting this week. But before we get to that, week 2 of college football, there's a few games. We've already talked about Tennessee and NC State. We both feel like it'll probably be a little bit of a competitive game and maybe Tennessee pulls off at the end. But one thing about Josh Heupel's offense is these are those types of games where we're expected to win, but it's probably going to be a little bit of a closer game of what people
If you're wrong,
expecting.
You're going to get another comment saying, what is this dude yapping about? We're up 40 at halftime.
But yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. You can blink at the beginning of the game and then boom, we're up 21-0.
Yeah.
With the type of offense that we have.
Yeah.
And just how explosive we are, especially with Nico at quarterback.
Yeah.
But we have a couple good running backs, man. Cam Seldon, like Dylan Sampson's our starter. He's the best running back that we got. Obviously the number one option. But I was watching the pregame on TV where they were warming up and stuff, and Dylan Sampson was standing right next to Cam Seldon. And dude, that dude is a monster, bro.
Really?
He is huge.
Really?
Cam Seldon, watch out. Just watch out.
Okay.
Cam Seldon is
got something to look forward to.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of opportunities this year to make a name for himself, much like Dylan Sampson has over the last couple years. But
honestly, our recruiting classes coming up, we've kind of been killing it, seems like. You got number 1 QBs in the country coming in.
That's that Tennessee money right there, dude.
Well, I think that's kind of how Ohio State is this year.
Yeah.
I think they have like $20 million invested in NIL.
It's crazy.
So it's this year for Ohio State, it's championship or bust.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I
can't wait to watch them bust.
I cannot.
Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Whoa. But for real.
I can't wait to see them
bust.
Underachieve.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know how it's going to be the usual Ohio State. Okay, we're going to go 8-0 or so, and then going to beat Penn State, lose to Michigan, and then we're going to be number 2 team in the country.
I don't think they're going to lose to Michigan this year.
We'll see.
We'll see. Michigan got a big test coming up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win, but you get what I'm saying. It's just going to be like they're going to have
the Big Ten sucks.
Exactly.
Well,
basically,
actually,
Big Ten sucks.
It's going to be more competitive this year
within itself, but I mean
But you also have the changing of conferences, like the SEC has Texas, Oklahoma coming over. The Big Ten also has Oregon, USC, UCLA. I'm leaving somebody off. I can't remember. Washington. I think Washington is also in the Big Ten. It's going to be
different, though.
Yeah, it's going to be different. There's going to be a lot more competition. We'll have to check the Ohio State and Michigan schedules to see if they play a team like Oregon or something like that in the conference. This season is definitely going to be a lot more intriguing throughout than obviously you got the go from the 4-team playoff to the 12-team and
thank God
and these different conference changes and stuff. So I don't think I hate to be beating a dead horse, but I don't think at the end of the year we're gonna have Florida State fans bitching that they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're gonna be lucky to even be top 25 at that point.
They're gonna have to work on that. But
speaking of Michigan,
yeah,
Texas versus Michigan.
That was the test.
I'm gonna redo what I did yesterday, guys, because if you couldn't tell, again, this is the second time we're doing this episode. Texas is going to beat Michigan. And
by how much?
By 10 points at least. It's
double digits.
It's not even going to be a concern for if you're a Texas fan. You're going to sleep well Friday night, Saturday night after they play, and then Sunday night. It's going to be a real easy game, and that's all I got to say. Texas will beat Michigan pretty easily.
When I checked the lines yesterday, The line was -6.5 for Texas. So let me find it real quick.
Texas is definitely going to win. I mean, this isn't even a question. It shouldn't be a question in my opinion.
Of course, I can't find
Michigan
it. There's
is
so many games this
Michigan
weekend.
is more of a shell of itself, ever since, Jim Harbaugh left.
Harbaugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't got no signs to steal this year. You get to talk right to the quarterback. Things are just a little different.
So the line has moved 1 point in favor of Texas from 6.5 to 7.5 at the Big House. It is in Michigan. The home field advantage swings the line a couple points at least, depending on what team is playing. So if this was at Texas, the line might be like -10.5, maybe 11 or something like that for Texas. Yeah. So I definitely think Texas is a 2-possession better team.
Yeah.
So the line being 7.5 at Michigan, maybe the sports books know something we don't. They always do. They always do.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think Michigan's defense will be pretty good. Probably not as good as they were last year, but I just think Texas is a pretty damn good team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Michigan definitely lost so much last year from after they won that natty. But that'll be one of the bigger games.
It's gonna be a good game regardless. I think
I'm
pretty confident about Texas winning though.
I wouldn't be surprised if game day is in Ann Arbor this week.
Have you seen that clip of Pat McAfee? He makes the Georgia crowd sing their own song, and he's like, "Give me Bama!" God, he played them like a fiddle, man.
Yeah, I love Pat McAfee.
Nothing like waking up and watching College Game Day.
Did you see the clip? They were in where were they this week? It was Texas A&M, but I think. Anyways, it doesn't matter where they were, but there was a clip that I saw from this weekend where he was standing next to a cannon, and the cannon goes off like right by him, but he was like standing in front, not like directly in front of the cannon, but to the side a little bit. And it was like, dude, we almost lost Pat. Like,
oh no,
he was close to.
No,
that
if
thing,
we lose
dude.
Pat, we riot, dude. Yeah. Pat is a national treasure.
He is, dude.
Yeah, and
I've watched the Pat McAfee show for years at this point,
and he's pretty accurate. I mean, like when they came to Tennessee for the Alabama game, I believe he chose Tennessee. To win that game. That was a electric day.
He's also done backflips into the Tennessee River before, and his big orange overalls, the checkerboards.
Yeah. Hey, we need to get another College Game Day here at Neyland.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make it at some point this year. We are at home against Florida and Alabama this season. So if we play our cards right, maybe we will see Game Day back on the hill.
Yeah. I mean, I knew last week you talked about Boise State's running back, didn't you? So
what did I say, Jacob?
You said remember his name, but the thing is, I don't remember his name.
Well, you're going to remember his name. Ashton Jeanty. My boy Jeanty. I was on the college football video game. I started out as an offensive coordinator at Boise State, and that was the first time I got introduced to Ashton Jeanty.
The man himself.
I won a Heisman with him. Then he dipped and went to the league. But
3 and done.
I'm not seeing. I saved a picture.
But he had a monster performance. Now, you said it wasn't versus anyone, notable necessarily. It's probably one of the smaller teams. But you say he had 6 touchdowns?
They won 56-45 against Georgia Southern. So not a whole lot of defense in that game.
He had all the defensive sliders turned down for that
pretty
one.
much.
Yeah.
20 carries, 267 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, you did the math last time. It was 13 yards a carry.
13.3.
Yeah, that's
insane.
Yeah, it is insane. I mean, like you said, it is pretty concerning to have 45 points dropped on you by Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
If you're Boise State, but otherwise, you see a lot of good in the running game, at least.
I think their offense is pretty good. Gonna be a bigger test for them this week, though. They got to go to Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, and play the Oregon Ducks. The line is 18.5 in favor of Oregon. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Oregon only won by 10 points versus Idaho. So I mean,
What'd you call yourself?
Huh?
What'd you call yourself just now?
Idaho.
Oh, okay. I'll just make sure. No, that was a bad joke.
Man,
I'm sorry.
dad jokes before you even got a newborn, man.
That was
That's crazy.
That's a knee slapper.
Yeah.
But
10 points. Idaho. You beat Idaho by 10 points.
and you're expected to win by 19 at least against
Boise.
Boise State.
I don't know if I buy it necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it would probably be a closer game than 18 points.
Yeah. It is in Oregon, but so was the Idaho game. And
who knows? Oregon may have just had some stuff they had to figure out, starting the first game of the season.
They were probably just overlooking a team like that, the Vandals.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would bet that game because I get.
You could probably do Boise State in the plus, right?
Yeah,
if you bet, see if they'll cover that spread, not get blown out.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be I might do like an alternate spread, Boise State plus 30 or something, put it in a parlay with something else.
Yeah.
I'm a very safe bettor, Jacob. I don't know.
I bet $20. I win $20. I have $40. Yeah. I mean, that's how you got to do it. You got to work your way up. But
yeah, get that bankroll flowing.
Hey, it was a good week. I'm pretty happy with all the games, and like I said, I think week 3 will be a little better, but week 2 ain't gonna disappoint. There's gonna be some good matchups.
I think the biggest matchup is that Texas-Michigan game.
I'll be watching that one.
Another game that I've got my eye on is Kentucky and South Carolina.
Okay.
Kentucky is a 9.5 point favorite at home against South Carolina, who almost lost to Old Dominion.
Old Dominion.
ODU.
I used to rock with them in the old NCAA football game. You could update the roster for it to be the modern roster, and I think they were like a 74 overall, 75 on defense. But Old Dominion rocked on that game. I did not expect them to rock in real life though. Versus South Carolina, that was kind of shocking.
Yeah, Shane Beamer in the post-game interview on the field, he looked very, very stressed out.
I would be too if my team was about to lose to Old Dominion.
Yeah.
And this was at South Carolina. So.
They're lucky they squeaked that one out. And it was close.
And it's
way too close.
Not promising if you're a Gamecocks fan.
It looked like South Carolina had somebody on the edge who was a home wrecker. That is, I don't know his name, but he's a true freshman, and he was just rocking bodies, just hitting everybody. Mm-hmm. And that'll be something to keep our eye on when. Actually, I don't think we play South Carolina this year.
Oh, okay.
With the way there's no East and West divisions in the SEC, so I don't think they're one of our 3 teams that we play every year anymore. Mm-hmm. But
we're gonna play Florida. We're probably gonna lose to Florida. Yeah. Nah, honestly, I don't see us losing to Florida. Florida has the hardest schedule this year, it seems like, and so I wouldn't.
And they're not off to a good start.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little
Miami
more defeated.
Whooped that ass.
And we play Florida here, don't we?
Yeah.
So I was more
in October.
I was more just talking as that traumatized Vol fan who thinks that maybe we could have squeaked it out versus UTC.
Yeah.
No, I think we'll probably win Florida, but I wouldn't be surprised if Florida wins 3 games and we're one of the 3.
Yeah. That's normally how it happens.
I just had that mindset. I'm safe.
I'll never forget that. I think it was 2017 game when we were in the swamp and it was, I guess it was tied.
Didn't we squeak a field goal? Is that the one where we missed the field goal barely?
Possibly. I just remember the very last play of regulation. It was a tie ball game, and Felipe Franks bombed a throw to the end zone, and they caught it and won the game on the last play.
No, there's a memory. I have a game of we lost to Florida where I forget, he was the announcer for the Vols, and it was at Florida, and I think it was at Florida, and we kicked it. We were going to try to win it. And he said it was good, and he had not seen it missed. It was so close to the goal that it was a little deceptive.
Oh, no. I'll have to go look at that.
We missed it. It may have been like 2014 or so, or 2015. If we're alternating every other year, but yeah, we've had some tough games against Florida. That's why I say
we've had some beat downs and some nail biters, and it seemed like. No matter which one of those it was, we were not going to win.
Yeah.
Either time.
But I hope we do this year. Nico is the savior
for
UT
so.
athletics.
But
UT football, at least.
As I was saying, Kentucky 9.5 point favorites at home against South Carolina. Something interesting to look at, Jacob. 95% of the money and 82% of the bets are on Kentucky to cover. So win by 10 points or more. When you see all that money on one team, don't be surprised if South Carolina makes it a close game.
Yeah. You said they know something that we don't, right? The sports book.
Yeah, they seem to always have something up the sleeves. But I'm not calling a South Carolina win. I'm not even calling a close game.
We'll just have to watch it.
Just don't be surprised if South Carolina wins that game.
It's just it's
college football.
I'm gonna pull a Charles Barkley. I got 2 words for you: Kentucky and South Carolina must see TV.
Charles, that's like 7 words.
Yeah.
No, that's a good clip.
I love Chuck, man.
Inside the NBA, man, we got like what, one more year?
One more year, yeah.
Oh man, that sucks.
It's gonna be
that's my childhood right there.
It's gonna be bittersweet, man. I'm gonna miss it, but so many good clips to go back and watch.
There's no way that they can
ever
replace that show.
Can't replicate it. Can't replace it.
I feel bad for the next guys.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna watch them.
Yeah,
they're not gonna be nearly as funny. Or
I'll give him a chance. You know, yeah. You may have when Draymond retires in 3 years, he'll be on there cheesing after Rudy Gobert and his team. You know, lose a conference series.
Yeah,
you know, but we'll see.
Draymond would be somebody that may be able to fill one of those roles, but
Did you see that? He's a world-class hater. He traveled all the way to Paris in the Olympics just to see U.S. beat France. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He was there smiling and everything, you know, watching old LeBron dunk it. Yeah. And Rudy Gobert's on the bench, probably in tears. Oh, man.
Shout out Team USA.
Yeah.
Bringing home the gold, men's and women's.
The Avengers were assembled. Yeah.
It was awesome to see LeBron and Steph together and with KD and
put them on a team already. They want to play so bad together.
I saw a fake Twitter account say that Steph Curry requested a trade like a week or 2 ago, and it was one of those where I had to search ESPN real quick and see if like something happened that I didn't know about. But I did have another, and it was at the same time I saw another tweet from an account that I follow that's pretty accurate on a lot of things, and it said that Steph Curry removed the Warriors from his bio.
But then he re-upped for the largest contract in history.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
It's 1 year. He extended it 1 year, but it's still the largest in the league.
He deserves it, man. He's
the
greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah, he does. I mean, 4 rings. I mean, you can't really ask for a better point guard, honestly. I'm not going to put him above Magic, but he's up there, in my opinion.
So we got NBA coming up in a couple weeks. Week 2 of college football this weekend. But Jacob, the NFL starts in 2 days. Yeah. How do you feel?
Hey, man, I'm honestly more of a college football guy, but I do love when the NFL is competitive. You know, I don't watch when it's a bunch of like no names teams. You know, you have like if the Browns are playing, you know, I don't know, the Cowboys. I ain't trying to watch that. I'm sorry. But I do excited come playoff time, and this is what we got to do to get there. So we got to start the season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Well, the Ravens play the Chiefs Thursday night football. Chiefs are favored by 3 in their banner ceremony game. We saw what happened last year with the Lions, a 21-20 loss against Detroit.
Great game.
I would think that the Ravens, who their last game of the playoffs came with a home loss to the Chiefs, so I think they're coming for blood. And
maybe they'll have a chip on their shoulder. I think
I would think so.
I want Lamar to have that attitude, for him to have that chip on his shoulder, for him to come in and not only want to win an MVP again this year, but to make it to the Super Bowl. You know, he's not even had that chance yet. You know,
the Ravens also picked up Titans legend King Henry. So
that's gonna be sick.
I drafted him on my fantasy team this year, so we'll see. I'm still rooting for Derrick Henry to do well.
Are you gonna have to be punished? Is that like what for fantasy? Are you gonna have to do a weird punishment?
No, we don't do any of those punishments, but we do pool our money together, $20 entry fee, and the winner takes however much of the pot.
Oh, okay. I've
Second
never done
place gets
fantasy.
some, so.
I've never done fantasy. I just know that some people do some weird.
Oh yeah,
punishments.
I've seen a lot of those.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those. I don't think I would ever put myself in that situation to ever have to do something crazy like that. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we'll see how it goes this Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins. It's such a pretty even matchup, in my opinion, Chiefs or the Ravens. But I would say that the Ravens would win. I'm sure that the Chiefs will have a little bit of that Super Bowl hangover, especially being, repeating and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure
no team has ever done it 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So
We'll
if
see.
anybody can do it, it's Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, the dynamic Ford trio.
Oh, God. Lamar's the only one that can save us.
Yeah. There were a lot of people saying that last year in the playoffs. And
I was hoping, man.
even Lamar couldn't save us.
Even Lamar, man. God, we'll see. This may be his year. Yeah. I'm pretty happy about that.
We'll go over our Super Bowl predictions here in a little bit, but we got that game Thursday night. If I had to pick, I'm not necessarily calling it. I guess maybe the episode will be out Thursday morning. We're a day late on the whole editing process.
It'll be out before Saturday at least.
Oh yeah, this game Thursday night. I may not make a pick. If I guess I'm leaning Ravens +3 with that game, and then that'll be Thursday night. Then Friday night,
Packers versus Eagles.
My shining prince, Jordan Love.
Yeah, you're a big Packers glazing, my bro.
Okay.
No, you grew up liking them, right?
Yeah. There's a guy from my hometown, Chad Clifton. He's up on the wall over there. Here's a picture. That was Chad Clifton. Yeah, he grew up in my hometown. He went to the same high school I went to back in the 90s. Not, we're not the same age, obviously, but he played for my high school, came to Tennessee and he was a left tackle, blocked for Peyton Manning, and then won the national championship in 98 with T. Martin. Got drafted to the Packers in 99 or 2000, one of those, and was the left tackle for Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers, and won a Super Bowl with the Packers. So
very cool.
My dad and his father-in-law worked together at the Union City Post Office back in the day, and so they were real good friends, and we got to go to a few of the games up in Green Bay, stay at his house every now and then, and I was just
we actually had a guy that grew up in Seymour that went to the league.
Who's that?
Scott Gallion. He played for Tennessee in the 90s, and then he played I believe this is all me basing off my memory from seeing his helmet in the school, like showcasing. I believe he played for the Dolphins and the Giants in the 2000s.
Nice.
And I just thought that was interesting. He grew up, the guy you idolized grew up in your hometown, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's cool, man. It's the Packers versus the Eagles. So, do you think the Eagles are going to bounce back after the way their season ended last year? They kind of fizzled out, lost in the playoffs. Or I think the Packers are going to...
There's a lot that goes into this game, it being in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Shout out Brazil.
If you want.
Yeah.
It's in Brazil. It's a Friday night game, prime time, only game on. All eyes will be on Peacock that night.
Jordan Love getting the biggest contract, right? And the most expensive?
Yeah, most expensive contract in NFL history. We'll see. I think it's, with the way the things go now with contracts in the NFL, they're only going to get bigger. So right now it's the most expensive, but in a few years we'll be getting him for a bargain. If you want to look at it that way, go ahead and secure his contract now. And hopefully, time will tell, he'll produce and lead us to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Friday night goes, the line is -3 in favor of the Eagles.
I like Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't, I don't like to bet against Jalen Hurts, but also we've seen him in those situations not be on the winning team.
The Eagles will, they started off 11-1 last year, and then pretty much didn't win a game the rest of the season. They just fell apart. Their head of security got suspended after the 49ers game last year for getting in the face of I'm gonna cut that out. He got suspended for getting in the face of I think it was Greenlaw for the 49ers.
But that kind of just fucked them up, it seemed like.
Yeah, it seemed like they just lost everything that they had.
That's interesting.
They just fell apart. Obviously, like your head of security being suspended shouldn't be a big deal, but maybe it was.
They were like, what'd you say, 11-1 maybe?
I think so.
Something like that. They were dominant throughout the season.
Enough to still be in the playoffs no matter what happens, and then they make the playoffs and lose to the Bucks. And I don't know. They should be a team with a chip on their shoulder this year.
And that's why I think they'll probably bounce back, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll see what happens Friday night.
It's going to be must watch.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching it. I know that. But, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. Green Bay's always been a team, even with Aaron Rodgers, that generally starts off pretty slow. It happened to us last year, but there were a lot of factors that went into that. Jordan Love's first year as a starter. The wide receivers he had are in year one and year two pretty much. Messing up plays, running wrong routes. The line was missing assignments, stuff like that.
Yep.
Then they, in the middle of the season, seemed like they started winning a couple games here and there and righted the ship and then looked like a pretty damn good team in the playoffs. Killed the Cowboys. And went toe-to-toe with the 49ers, who went to the Super Bowl. Went toe-to-toe with them, and it was Christian McCaffrey that put the team on his back, as I've said before, and put that game away, unfortunately. But, I mean, I don't know what to expect going into the beginning of the season. I do expect us to be a playoff contender. We should win our division, the NFC North. The Bears are a pretty hyped team right now. Maybe overhyped. We'll have to see. The Vikings are going to be a shit show. I would think the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFC. So I think it'll be the Lions and the Packers battling it out throughout the season to try to get that the King of the North title. And we'll see what happens come, playoff time. Hopefully we're in a position to maybe even have a home game in the playoffs and not have to be the 7th seed going on the road every week. But
so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you have the Packers winning the season opener, right?
The season opener? I really don't know, Jacob. I really don't know, dude.
You're so full of shit.
No.
I know you're going to say Packers, man. That's okay.
I mean,
that's your team.
Obviously, I'm going to support the Packers in everything we do. I would like to see us win.
So you'd support the Packers if they traded away Jordan Love and, signed, who's a bad quarterback? Signed Nick Foles to a max.
I would, no. But I would say, let's say we trade away Jordan Love, got nothing in return, and then drafted Florida State's quarterback. At that point, I throw a riot. We start a riot for that.
Sorry about the Nick Foles disrespect. I know he's an MVP of the Super Bowl, but
take down Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I don't gotta make my point right there. I think everyone knows.
No, the Packers are gonna win by 35 points against the Eagles in Brazil. That's my pick. Packers minus 34.5.
I have the Eagles winning. Just to be different, honestly. I don't know who would really win, but for the story, I think the Eagles probably come in pissed off.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's must-watch TV as well. It's 2 words, must-watch TV.
Yeah.
No, but after that, you got the Rams and the Lions. That's going to be a good game, I think. You said the story of that one's pretty good, too, because Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, so Matt Stafford played pretty much his whole career at Detroit.
Wasted a lot of it.
Got traded to L.A. for Jared Goff. It's pretty much just a quarterback swap. And then Matt Stafford went on to win a Super Bowl with the Rams a few years ago. And they did return to Detroit last year in the playoffs and lost. And now I think the line is 3.5 in favor of Detroit. Wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won that game. I wouldn't. I think the Rams will be a lot better this year. And they even made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But
And
I think
was there injuries last year?
Cooper Kupp was in and out for most of the season. Puka Nacua stepped up and was like wide receiver 1 as a rookie. But I think Matt Stafford was dealing with injuries here and there too. So if they can stay healthy, man, Sean McVay is no joke as a head coach. He's
we've seen his intellect.
He's a very, very smart play caller on the offensive side of the ball. Definitely has. Doesn't matter who they're playing, he's going to have a scheme for them. And he's in that Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. He's the head coach of the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur for the Packers, Mike Daniels for the Dolphins. They were all coaching together at one point. Now they're all head coaches somewhere else.
Kind of like the Spurs almost of the NFL.
And all of those coaches are very heavily influenced into the offense. Yeah. And they always, I mean, you see what Mike McDaniels does with the Dolphins and Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle. I mean, they're just the
it's gonna be
greatest show on turf.
But it's gonna be a good season.
Well earned.
It's gonna be a good season.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
I mean, so do you think the Lions are gonna win or the Rams?
I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won. I would probably pick Rams plus 3.5 or whatever the line is.
Imagine this Lions team with Megatron.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
That would be.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is wide receiver number 1. They also have Jameson Williams from Alabama in year 2. I think he was either hurt last year or suspended. I think he was in trouble for gambling or something like that.
I should have said, what if Jordan Love was traded and y'all signed Jameis Winston? That would have been worse.
Hey, man, that's somebody that gets your juices flowing, though.
Yeah,
he'll eat the dub, man. He'll do whatever it takes to get the players hyped up for a game, man.
That's nasty doing that.
Knick knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone, man.
He's like, that's a dub.
We eating a dub today, boys. Shout out Jameis, I love you, man.
Roll the clip. We
eating a dub today.
Oh, that's so nasty.
No, but he will. There were a couple of those players that were like, "What?"
Yeah, it was like, I'm not motivated. I'm just confused.
Are we supposed to get hype right now?
Yeah.
That was probably his only swing and a miss in a pregame huddle. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He was. He's with the Browns now, and there were a couple clips that have come out from the preseason. Just the boys getting hyped up for a preseason game, nonetheless. But I mean, he's somebody. He's a motivator. He's a informative speaker, a motivational speaker. And he's a pretty good quarterback too if he gets a shot.
What about Deshaun Watson? Is he playing for the Browns still?
Yeah.
He was at the Texans, right?
Yeah. And we all know what happened with that.
Yeah, But is he playing or what?
Yeah, he's starting. He got hurt last year.
Okay.
And
that's where I was lost. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, the Browns are a doomed franchise. Yeah. They deserve everything they get. Signing Deshaun Watson to the contract that they did is like over $200 million for basically like pretty much all of it's guaranteed. Like he doesn't even have to play, and he still gets paid year by year. And
got that John Wall contract.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, Deshaun Watson, I don't wish negative things on anybody, but I wouldn't be sad at all if that man never won a game in the rest of his life.
Well, I mean, he played for the Browns. I mean, come on. Yeah. He probably ain't going to win a game.
Very true. Very true.
But, so you got the Rams winning, right?
That's my pick.
Okay.
That's my pick.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to say the Lions.
Okay.
What else would you expect? I'm not agreeing with you on any of these picks. But it makes it more interesting. We'll see who's right, who's wrong.
Who we got Monday night?
Jets and the 49ers. And I know you love some Aaron Rodgers. I also like Aaron Rodgers. So I'll be happy if he lasts more than a possession.
The line is, my over-under is over 4 plays for Aaron Rodgers this season.
Oh, okay. 92% of bettors are placing their bet on that.
I hope Aaron has a great season, injury-free season.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think the Jets will be. I mean, the Jets defense was good enough to keep them in games last year. If you were ever betting a Jets game, you were going to bet the under because you knew the Jets offense was not scoring, and you knew the Jets defense was going to keep the other team from scoring for the most part.
Yeah. Maybe just a little more than what your offense can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Jets defense should be pretty good as they were last year. We'll see if the offense stays healthy. Hopefully it's injury free. Aaron Rodgers gets to light it up again.
Yeah.
And
he's older, ain't he?
Yeah. He's about 40 now.
Yeah.
40, 41, something like that.
Honestly, playing QB nowadays, though, I mean, you just sit in the pocket. I mean, you could be playing like Tom Brady, till you're 45 or so.
I don't think anybody is taking care of their body the way Tom Brady and maybe LeBron James has. Those are
$1 million a year on your body,
at least.
Shit. Yeah.
But the line is in favor of San Francisco -3.5. I don't know anything.
I'm
about
going
that
Jets.
Game.
I'm going Jets on that one.
Are you going money line +3.5? What?
I would just do money line, honestly. I don't do too many spreads, but
Aaron Rodgers hates the 49ers. They're a team that passed up on him in the draft, and he ended up going to Green Bay.
It gets personal, yeah.
It's very personal. However, the 49ers have seemingly always had his number, especially when they met in the playoffs.
Not this year.
Not this year. Okay,
No.
You heard it here first.
Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are winning their opening game of the season versus the 49ers.
It's in San Francisco, Monday Night Football. It's not a turf field. It is a natural grass field. So
turf fields should be outlawed. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
They're like one of, if not the biggest cause of contact-free injuries on the field.
You know something absolutely crazy? Let me tell you. Whenever European soccer teams come and play, let's say they play at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, because it's not New York, but
that's a turf field.
It is a turf field. Guess what they do when those soccer teams come over?
They strip that shit up and put a real grass field on there. Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's supposed to be done.
Because soccer players aren't going to risk their bodies on turf.
Yeah, and
they play on natural grass.
We'll accommodate to them, but
not the NFL players. Interesting.
I don't know if I've ever seen a video or an interview of a player saying they love turf over grass. I think it's always been grass.
I hated it in high school because my high school played at the University of Tennessee at Martin Stadium. It was a turf field.
Humble flex.
Yeah, humble flex. Shout out Westview. But no, we played on a turf field. We got 5 home games a year. And my senior year, 3 of our away games were also on turf fields. So I played on natural grass 2 or 3 games.
Ice bath galore, probably.
But you know what the worst thing about it? We didn't really have any injuries like that. No Achilles. We're younger people, so we're more flexible or whatever. But
less fragile.
One of the things I hated was the actual rubber beads from the turf getting everywhere. Dude, they got in the shoes, in the socks, in the helmet,
in the ass crack,
in the ass crack, ball sack, all of that.
Shit was like going to the beach and bringing a backpack.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've been there. Yeah.
And if you ever played in the sun, it was hot. You just bake out there. But
if you were frustrated and all of a sudden you feel one of those beads, it probably set you off. Right, at some point, you're like, what the hell? And if you
got tackled, you get like turf burn. It's like carpet burn, dude. Oh my gosh, it was awful.
Yeah, turf ain't no good, guys.
Yeah, NFL, change it.
Yep,
change it. NFL.
Yeah,
we've got a big enough voice to make it happen here on the $1 Million Radio Show.
Hey, you don't want to mess with us. I already got a mic stand.
Yeah, we make changes around here, NFL.
Exactly.
We're gonna make it happen.
So you didn't say who was gonna win though? The Jets versus 49ers. Did you?
I haven't yet.
I said Jets. I'd be shocked if you said 49ers, if I'm being honest. Just because Aaron Rodgers has the softest.
Dude, I hate the 49ers. I'm definitely not putting my money on them. I put my money on them in the Super Bowl. Lost that shit.
Brock Purdy, great game manager.
You know, if the 49ers would have won that Super Bowl, you know who would have been the MVP?
Jawan Jennings.
Because
didn't he throw a touch? What did he do?
He threw a touchdown.
He caught a touchdown.
He caught a touchdown. He had a few big catches.
I was rooting for him on that one.
The 49ers players always say on third down, no matter how long the distance, they call it third and Jawan because that's who they go to.
Hey, man.
The most reliable hands.
Jawan Jennings is goated in Tennessee history for
He's
catching
a ball
that.
for life for sure, man.
He caught that catch versus Georgia in 2016.
It's caught. It is caught.
Yep.
Jawan Jennings.
Yep. That was an iconic game because we were down the whole game, and then you got to do a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
We score, then Georgia scores
with
like
13,
right at the end.
They had 13 seconds left.
There's a kickoff, and I don't remember what the penalty was, but there was a penalty on the kick return that moved us up 15 yards, and then just all we had was one play.
Imagine Joe Milton. He just with the wrist, like the cannon. But yeah,
one thing.
Josh Dobbs yanked that shit. Pause. But Josh Dobbs, he threw that shit, and it was a perfect catch because you had all the Georgia guys like grouped up behind the Tennessee guys. They made like a shield almost, and then Juwan Jennings just came up, cocked that bitch. Pause. Brought it in. And fell to the ground, and he gets back up. He's exploding up. Pause.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
One thing about, because, as Tennessee fans, if we're on social media, we see that happen, the replay, the clip come up a lot. One thing that grinds my gears every time I see that clip?
What?
Butch Jones's bitch ass falling to the ground and just like, oh my goodness, fall into the ground, head in the hands, just like thanking God and crying and all of this.
It was like LeBron when he came back down 3-1, in the finals. That's something to fall to your knees.
Knoxville, this is for you.
Yeah. That's literally that's falling to your knees when you are down 3-1 to the 73-9 Warriors is justifiable. But you won a regular season game versus Georgia. Granted, it was on an amazing Hail Mary, but man, Butch Jones, honestly, if he was loved by us Tennessee fans, we probably wouldn't be saying that, but he left a bad taste in our mouth because he made us go, 3-9 or so?
Well, that year we beat Florida, we beat Georgia, didn't beat Alabama, but it was still the East-West, divisions. Beat Florida, beat Georgia. I can't. Did we beat South Carolina, or is that one of the games we lost? Anyways, we ended up losing like 2 or 3 at the end and didn't even make it to the conference championship game.
Yeah, the way his tenure ended was pretty disgusting, and then he goes to Alabama, and then he smokes a cigar after Alabama beat us with the recruits that he recruited. It was like, what the hell? Bro, you played yourself. You played your team.
Yeah.
with a different coach.
Anytime I'm another team and I have to play Tennessee in the video game, man, it's one of those like, sorry, I got to do it.
No, dude.
It's like putting your dog down.
Auto simulate through that one.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
But yeah, we got week 1 coming up, man. NFL football. A lot of exciting things happening in college football. NFL coming up.
I'm calling my Super Bowl prediction. It's going to be the Ravens versus the Lions, by the way, on September 3rd, Tuesday, September 3rd at 8:42. I'm calling it Ravens versus Lions in the Super Bowl.
8:42 p.m. By the way, if the lighting looks any different, it's because we're not filming this at noon on a Monday. This is at 7, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night. But we don't have to get back into that.
Dear God, please.
So you said your Super Bowl prediction was who?
The Ravens versus the Lions.
What makes you think that?
I don't know. I just feel like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are due for a NFL run or for a Super Bowl run. Obviously, an NFL run. I think they're due for a massive playoff run. I think Lamar Jackson is the guy to do it this year.
Well, both of those picks really aren't too far off. The Chiefs, obviously, the betting favorites, plus 550, followed by the 49ers at plus 600. And then the Ravens and Lions are both 3 and 4. Ravens plus 1,100, Lions plus 1,200. So
more of my prediction is a want rather than probably what will happen.
You don't want to see Taylor Swift infiltrate the Super Bowl, is what you're saying.
God love her. I just don't.
God love her because I don't.
No shade at T Swift. I'm not bumping a lot of her music or anything, but I just ain't trying to see.
She's not in your $1 million song of the week.
Nah, dude. I'm not trying to see her pan to her every 20 seconds. I know she's she's mega famous, but I just want to watch football. Man.
Something that came out today was an NFL hype video. Guess who was not shown in that?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, Joe Burrow, T.J. Watt, so many of these other players. Guess who?
Joe Burrow, man, is
Guess who was shown in that hype video?
Patrick Mahomes, Taylor Swift.
5 times.
Oh no!
Taylor Swift was shown glimpses in that video 5 times.
Oh man, it's just to get more attraction from female viewers.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's smart marketing.
It is what it is.
It's smart marketing.
The amount of different eyes that were on the NFL towards the end of the season. I mean, it is what it is. But
women are the majority in the world, especially in the U.S. So I mean, it is smart for the NFL to try to go out there and get that audience attention, And if Taylor Swift being at the game and them panning to her for 20 seconds is what it takes, it's pretty smart.
Oh, for sure.
Even if it's like kind of annoying as a guy. Like, I don't like it when they show any celebrity, and it's not just her, but if there's a celebrity at a basketball game, I don't want to see Bruno Mars courtside. I'm sorry.
It's different when you show somebody once or twice throughout a 3-hour broadcast. Yeah. Because it's 3 hours, but when you're showing the same person and their reactions every time something happens, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep the game the game.
It's not like it's her fault, but
no, I mean,
but Lamar Jackson can save us. So,
yeah, Lamar can save us.
So please, Ravens versus Lions Super Bowl, please.
So my pick, I got just to be different. I definitely don't want to see the Chiefs again. Not even because of Taylor Swift. It's just the fact that
fatigue.
The winning fatigue hasn't happened 3 times in a row. That also plays in. Nobody's won the Super Bowl 3 times in a row. That also kind of plays into my decision to keep the Chiefs out.
That would boost his legacy like crazy, in my opinion. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, if they won 3 in a row,
yes,
for sure.
The first quarterback.
Not even Tom Brady did it.
Yeah, the first quarterback to ever 3-peat. I mean, that would be a big legacy boost.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see it happen.
I don't either. But so instead of the Chiefs coming out of the AFC, I've got the Bills.
Josh Allen, he's
due.
He's a solid quarterback. I mean, weren't they the number 1 in their division last year?
Yeah, they've owned their division over the last few seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets will give them a run for their money this season, barring injuries and such. But
barring more than one. I'm sorry.
I've got a story that I said yesterday, but I guess I'll say it again. So we were on tour I was on tour with Artifice. Shout out Artifice. Last summer we were up in Wisconsin. There's a family that they're friends with and whatnot. So during a few off days that we had, we stayed there in Wisconsin. We went to a sports store. Sports stores in Wisconsin are primarily Green Bay. So I got like a cheese head. I got a hat. I got a Jordan Love.
All that swag.
Jordan Love a football card that had the little jersey piece in it. Still got that in the closet, fucking locked away. But
don't let this man shake Jordan Love's hand. He ain't gonna watch it.
Yeah. Jordan Love's gonna sign my forehead, and I'm gonna get it tatted.
No, you're dead.
Yeah. No, but so there's this friend that they had that met us at the store, and I started talking to him. I think I was actually wearing this shirt. Being from Tennessee, being a Packers fan, and all that, and we started catching up. He asked me if I was excited for Jordan Love. I was like, yeah. I hate to see Aaron go, but it is what it is. It's time. I think we got a young stud coming into our team, but which was I wrong? Was I wrong? I don't think so. But anyway,
don't shake his hand, man.
So I digress. But we were talking. He knew I was an Aaron Rodgers fan. He had just gotten an Aaron Rodgers New York Jets jersey, an away jersey. It's white with the green 8. Rodgers on the back, an official NFL jersey, still had the tags on, it was like priced at $130 or whatever. And so he just gave it to me. And I was like, hell yeah, dude, thank you. It's like a double X, so I don't, it's like a dress on me when I was wearing it, but
crazy.
So anyways, fast forward a couple months, Monday Night Football, week 1, Jets, the night of September 11th, Aaron Rodgers runs out with the American flag on the field. I'm wearing my brand new Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey that comes down to my knees, and
you got some Twin Towers for the legs coming out.
And so, anyways, right before the game, I'm like, man, I don't even need this tag, and I ripped the tag off, man. I ripped the tag off, throw it away. 4 plays later, dude, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
What happened?
He ruptured his Achilles.
Oh yeah.
And it was one of those where like he got sacked and didn't look that bad, and he stood up.
It wasn't no Kevin Ware for Louisville where his
bone
was
it wasn't
showing.
a broken leg or nothing like crazy nasty looking. But then, he stands up, takes a couple steps, and then just sits back down. And I'm like, what is this? And in the trade that the Packers made with the Jets to send Aaron Rodgers over, they traded away a draft pick to us. And if there was a clause in it where, like, if Aaron Rodgers played 60% of the snaps for the Jets, that instead of it being a second-round pick, it would be a first-round pick. And so in my head, like, I initially go to, like, oh, he's just wanting to take some snaps off and rub it in Green Bay's face or, something like that.
Petty.
And yeah, petty. I know. It was a bad thought I had.
I'm saying him you thought he was
Oh, yeah,
petty.
yeah. No, I was being petty too, thinking that. But so then, he comes off and he walks off under his own power, as they say. And then, I'm scouring Twitter, looking at it. And then I start seeing some replays of it that are slow-mo cameras, like from looking from behind the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that ankle just snap on the back. And it
disgusting.
wiggles and the calf like twitches. And I was like,
it's disgusting.
Initially, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no. He's done.
His season's over.
Not only his season, but I'm thinking like
career.
He's done.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, that wouldn't be shocking.
No, but the crazy thing is he got this new type of surgery done. He was trying to come back that season. Like he was on pace to come back around Christmas time if the Jets were still in playoff contention.
But they weren't.
No. So he didn't.
It didn't make
back.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't going to come back and risk it after
imagine
that.
if that surgery was around when Kobe tore his.
Yeah, I know, man.
Shooting. You remember he shot at the free throw?
Yeah. How could I forget?
Iconic, man.
But so Aaron went down after 4 plays, but he makes his triumphant return at the team that passed on him in the draft.
Who'd you say is going to win?
Give me the Jets.
Okay.
Give me the Jets.
Jets are going to win.
I'm not going to go money line. Give me the Jets on the line, whatever it is on Monday.
Jets are going to win, baby.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We got our predictions in.
Oh,
man.
wait. I got the Bills in the AFC. I got the Packers in the NFC. Super Bowl predictions.
Bills versus the Packers. That's fair. Yeah.
The only reason for that, I think we'll have an awesome year this year. Obviously, I think we're the best young team in the NFL. But there's a trend, Jacob. The Packers won the Super Bowl in 1997 in New Orleans. 14 years later, the Packers win the Super Bowl.
Getting his crystal ball out.
14 years later, the Packers win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. The first one was Brett Favre, obviously. This Super Bowl in 2025, 14 years later, is back in New Orleans.
Prophet McCroskey is what I've called him.
Packers over the Bills, Super Bowl champions.
All right, well, when that does not happen, we're going to flame you in the comment section.
Chat, don't clip it. Chat, clip it.
We're clipping it.
Chat, clip everything, but don't clip this.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen this year, but hey.
Packers over the Bills.
Honestly,
I'm calling it.
I'm excited for it to not happen, but I'm also excited for, if it does happen, for me to be so wrong.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
I'm so ready to be completely right.
We'll see about that, guys. We'll see.
All right, Jacob, let's wrap it up. What's your $1 million radio song of the week? Give it to us.
Peep the shirt.
Okay.
What does
Rage
the shirt
Against
say?
the Machine.
Yes. So Rage Against the Machine, amazing band. You like them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I could go with something popular, like Bulls on Parade or Sleep Now in the Fire or Testify, but I'm going to go with more of a deep cut.
Okay.
We're going to go with Revolver.
Revolver. Rage Against the Machine, Revolver. It's posted on the screen right now. Rage Against the Machine, Revolver. I'm going to go a band called ERRA. You've heard of them?
Mm-hmm. Only because you told me in this previous rendition of this episode.
So my friend Cody, who was in Artifice and brought me on tour as a sound guy. Appreciate that, Cody. Shout out. But it's a pretty heavy band. Heavy for the general listener in the rock genre. they got a song called Wave on their album Cure. It's one of those songs where when the hook plays, you just want to put your hands up like you're in church and just scream out the words.
I checked
like
it out
singing
because
the
of
gospel.
you. I checked it out today.
Did you like it?
It's really good.
It's a really good song. The whole album, give that a spin or two. But
we'll have those posted in the description. Go check those out.
Yeah,
those are really good.
$1 Million Radio Song of the Week. I've got ERRA with Wave. You've got Rage Against the Machine
with Revolver.
Revolver. Check it out, guys.
All right. Well, this has been a great episode. I hope we got
Part 30, 52.
Every week's a learning experience. It wasn't even anyone's fault. It really was not any human error. It was literally just.
It's not going to happen again. I promise that. And maybe something else happens again, but not that.
And if it does, you ain't gonna know.
Yeah, exactly. So if you get this episode, you start watching it on Thursday morning, then everything went great.
Yep. Hey, but join us next week when y'all can flame us for being completely wrong about the prediction.
Yeah, absolutely. What are we yapping about?
Also, your predictions, post them in the comments below. Give this video a dislike and unsubscribe.
Absolutely. We've got 14 right now. Let's make it 0.
That's too many, way too many. So make sure
we're getting too famous.
Yeah, do not like it. Do not subscribe.
I mean, look at you. You got a mic stand.
I know. I've washed. I mean, I've been doing this way too long.
Yeah.
2 episodes in.
You're such a...
3 recordings, 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
You're such a sellout is what they call you. Yeah.
But drop your predictions down below.
Super Bowl predictions, national championship predictions.
Will Johnny Sins be signed as the next free agent for your favorite NFL team? We don't know.
He's already getting signed to Marvel. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, he's already a plumber. He's already a superhero. He's already a janitor, a doctor, an astronaut. Will he be your next free safety, or is he more built like a linebacker? I don't know.
He might be a tight end, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, damn. Oh, wrap it up. Whoa.
No,
Get out of here.
I don't think he ever wraps it.
Yeah, get out of
here. Stop it. All right. Thanks for watching.
This has been episode number
2.5.7. Episode 2, $1 Million Radio. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you.